Ayan na, nakahabol na tayo guys. Anong petsa na? Yan talagang traffic Akala ko pa naman after 3 to 6 months ni Tatay Digong, Singapore na tayo. Pero eto na, patapos na si Tatay Digong. Yung traffic natin medyo hindi Singapore Medyo ayoko na magsalita. Kaya bahala mag-explain dyan, alright? Kaya na-late talaga tayo. Thank you guys dun sa mga nakikinig pa rin sa atin, yung may paki pa rin sa atin despite everything. Ayan, medyo mahaba po yung araw natin. Meron tayong speaking engagement kanina. As you can see in our Italiano mafioso setup, medyo nag-3-piece suit tayo kanina. Kaya paghabol ko sa bahay, sabi ko mag 3-in-1 tayo. So, 3-piece suit and 3-in-1. I think that's a very, very good combination, no? Talagang, you can put an Italian suit on an Ilocano, but you cannot take the Ilocano out of the Italian suit, okay? Yan. Kasto ito Ilocano style. Kahit 3-piece suit, 3-in-1 pa rin ang iniinom. Kaya, uwi ako. Sabi ko, naku, late na ako. Ganun. Pero sabi ko, sayang naman kung wala tayong 3-in-1. Kailangan talaga 3-in-1 habang tinatanggal yung 3-piece suit natin. Alright. Kamusta na kayo dyan, guys? Ayan na tayo, mga kameta. Traffic kanina Pero in fairness naman, one thing that kept me entertained and interested is yung news natin. Mukhang kanina may news na si Robin Padilla. Senator Robin Padilla nandyan sa papunta daw sa Senado. Ready na siya sa debate. Right? Sabi niya nga, summa cum laude daw siya ng nagka-cut ng class. Pero ngayon, hindi ko na alam anong gusto niya mangyari. Madali lang daw lahat pag may enthusiasm, may support. Ay, ganun pala Lahat pala sa buhay. Huwag na tayo mag-aral, huwag na tayo pumunta sa eskwela, huwag na tayo mag-research. Idaan lang natin yan, guys, sa political will. Anong sagot sa kahirapan? Political will. Anong sagot sa corruption? Political will. Anong sagot sa climate change? Political will. Ganun talaga. Yan po ang sagot sa lahat ng problema natin sa buhay. Political will. Anong strategy ng, anong pangalan ito? ng Gilas Pilipinas, political will. Kaya natin yan. NBA, kaya natin lang. Ganun pala, guys. Kahit summa cum laude ka ng cut ng class, kahit walang ganun, bahala na. Tapos may explanation din, yung debate magiging Filipino-Tagalog daw, which I think is actually interesting. Gusto ko nga sana yung ating bansa ay trilingual. Di sana may Espanyol tayo, parang may Fuego, may Filipino, may English. Yung katulad ng Singapore, napansin niyo na nag-speech si Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong ng Singapore during the pandemic. I love that speech. He presented it in 3 languages, right? In Bahasa, right? And Chinese, Mandarin. He was speaking Mandarin, not Hokkien. No, not Hokkien. Although Hokkien is, I think, majority of mga Chinese dito sa Southeast Asia. He spoke Mandarin, and then Bahasa, and then English. Sana ganito yung mga leaders natin. Pero dito, sabi ng isang natin dyan, head of constitutional amendment natin dyan, Tagalog na lang daw yung debate. Tapos nung tinanong bakit, kasi daw hindi naman Amerikano yung kalaban, kaya Tagalog na lang. Napakaganda talaga mga explanation dito. Alright. Dahil hindi naman tayo Amerikano dito, wag na tayo mag-English, di ba? Ganun. Ayan tayo. Yan. Summa cum laude ng cut ng class. Talagang this is the era talaga of yung mga Oxford man, yung si tatay naman daw, pasang-awa sa ganun talaga, guys. Anong style natin ngayon? Idaan lahat sa political will. Ang political will po ay pwede mong ipakain sa tao. Ang political will po ang pwede mong gawin kalsada. Ang political will po ang pwede mong gawin ang alternative sa NAIA Airport kung sakali traffic. Ang political will po ang pwede natin ipadala dyan sa West Philippine Sea habang nagpapadala ng barko at eroplano ang mga Chino. Ang political will ang pwede natin ipadala para maayos ang climate change. Yan tayo talaga, guys. Yan talaga ang eto na talagang ating level, guys. Idaan na lang lahat sa political will. Yan po ang sagot. Tapos tinanong mo, define political will. Ayan na. Abutan tayo na umaga, di pa rin ma-explain. Yan kasi, alam mo tawag ka dyan, guys, magical thinking. Ang magical thinking po ay, hindi naman talano level, pero yung tipong simplistic answers to complicated solutions. Yan po ang magical thinking. Hindi simple, but simplistic. Actually, agree din ako na analysis paralysis, kung puro ka lang analysis, pero wala ka naman decisiveness or dedication to something. Pero the idea na pwede mo idaan isang bagay lang doon lang dahil may gusto ka or ganon. Kaya nga po tayo may tinatawag na preparation, training, strategy, ayan tayo. Talagang, pero wag na tayong magsalita guys. Sabihin nila, bitter na naman kayo. Ganyan. Guys, ba't naman tayo maging bitter? Alam mo ba, Hindi, mabait na talaga ako. Anyway, before I'll say more, let me say thank you to... Kasi kanina may talk ako dun sa... Of course, sa Globe. Nag-talk tayo about the situation, etc. So, thank you very much. Vlogger. I think alam na nila, vlogger na ako eh. So, sabi nila, nakakaawa naman daw yung natin, earphones natin. At mukhang sikat na yung aking 3-in-1. Although, thank you naman sa ating friends sa Starbucks. Meron naman tayo pang... Pero Ilocano talaga. Sabi nila, uy, kamusta ang 3-in-1 kape? Kaya kanina medyo nagtotong kape ako, nag-jitter na ako, medyo height. Tapos sabi nila, kawawa naman yung mo, yung may scotch tape pa yung ko dito. Ayan o, nakikita nyo yung scotch tape. Ayan, kaya bigyan tayo ng ganyan. Salamat ha. Thank you very much sa ating mga sponsor. I'm a legit vlogger. Tapos sinabi pa, eto daw, earphones daw, ilagay ng earphones para hindi mukhang zaddy. Talagang, ayan na, para cool tayo. Thank you very much sa mga sponsors natin. Mukhang, gumagana yung style natin nagpaparinig dito sa meta natin, sa 3-in-1, sa mga scotch tape dito na gano'n. Alright. Okay. Medyo, may simpatsya na ata sa atin, guys. Huwag kang mag-alala, guys. Ang sagot dyan, political will. Anong mas sa scotch tape dyan? Political will. Parang unity yan, guys. Parang unity. Ang sagot sa kahirapan, unity. Ang sagot po sa West Philippines Sea, unity. Sir, kalmado lang tayo. Ayan, okay. Anyway, magsimula ba lang tayo sa usapan natin? Ano man topic natin, guys? Okay, putting it aside, no, I'm gonna watch very carefully. Okay, serious na tayo. Serious na tayo. Seryoso, amigo. Comparino, Ricardo, okay? Just to be serious about this, I'm gonna carefully watch yung magiging debate dyan sa Senado sa pagitan ni Senator Robin Padilla and other senators dun sa issue ng constitutional amendments, dun sa anong pangangailangan natin ng bansa. Alam mo sa algorithm ko sa YouTube, ano yung lumalabas? Yung mga interview kay Robin Padilla years ago with sila Pinky Web ba yan, etc. about sa CNN, about Pilipinas, federalism pala, federalism. At yung konsepto niya na kailangan ng devolution, no? Ayan. So, I'm watching this carefully because you can say whatever you want, but Senator Padilla is gonna oversee the Committee on Constitutional Amendments. Kaya seryosohin natin, guys. Alright? Let's be nice. Let's be nice, okay? Huwag tayong respect natin. You know, for everything I say, I respect the political mandate of democratic elected leaders. Respeto. Alright? So, I'm gonna watch it very carefully. Let's see anong mangyayari. Idaan natin, aside from yung political will and all of that, I want to see what specifically they're gonna push for in terms of form of government, etc., etc. Ay, may mga tanong kayo, in fairness, maraming nagtanong. Oo, maraming nagtanong. But you know, guys, before I go to your questions, let me talk about something that I've been thinking about very deeply for quite some time. At ito po yung issue ng... Okay, ito. I'll be honest, Ito. I've been following Elon Musk for a while. Alright? Parang the other day, nalaman natin, syempre Joe Rogan, isa sa mga natin dyan, mga pinapakinggan natin, mga podcasters. Parang may sinabi sila na we're gonna go a little bit, not science fiction, but actually cutting edge science and all. Kasi may implication ito, guys. May implication ito sa politika. Alright, let me be very clear about it. Kasi kanina dun sa speaking engagement natin, syempre I gave the political lay of the land. By the way, very balanced, in fact, almost optimistic. May mga nagsabi din na sila mag-migrate after listening to me. So sorry na lang sa mga immigration business dyan. Pag nakinig kayo sa akin, yung pagmamahal nyo sa Pilipinas, hindi mawawala lalo, di ba? Alright. Mamaya na mag-migrate. Okay. No. So, and tapos yung kaibigan ko, of course, si Jail, he spoke about sociology of the youth, anong gusto ng kabataan, etc. Pero yung mga speakers na sumunod sa amin, actually, alam mo yung topic, Metaverse. Metaverse. Hindi meta natin, Metaverse. Alam mo yung Metaverse, di ba? Ito yung parang, ano ba yan? Minecraft? Yung game na parang Minecraft, di ba? Yung pumunta ka doon, tapos, imagine Minecraft, you're buying stuff, etc. Pero naka 3D ka, di ba? So, that will be the future, guys. So, siguro, in 10 years from now, baka hindi na tayo ganun, guys. This is like 2D eh. Baka in 10 years from now, yung meta natin, literally, sa metaverse na tayo. So, naka Google Glass tayo or something, gano'n, diba? VR, naka VR tayo. And I will be in my VR mode. So, essentially this, a little bit more BTS. Alright? More BTS version of this, or I don't know, more Fuego. Alright? Siyempre, matanda na tayo. Zadi na tayo. So, more Fuego version. Tapos kayo rin. And then we'll interact with each other dun sa 3D, multiverse na yan, no? Or multiverse. Metaverse na yan, okay? Walang nga kasi, naunahan tayo sa meta natin, eh. Alam mo yung meta na yan, naisip ko yata, bago pa nag-meta tong si Zuckerberg, eh. Kaya ang problema ay mag-copyright issue na naman tayo, eh. Ay, nako. Now, anyway, so there was a very serious discussion about where are we heading, no? At, by the way, guys, napanood niyo yung movie ng Metaverse? Did you watch that movie? Yung, ito yung Steven Spielberg movie ba yan? Metaverse. Napanood niyo yun? Man, you know, nung bata ako, ayaw ko talaga sa mga... Ano yung movie ulit yun? Movie... Yung kay Steven Spielberg, yung parang nasa Metaverse silang lahat. Ayan, Ready Player One. Ito. Ito yung movie na yan. Guys! Alam mo, pag panoorin mo ngayon, hindi na siya mukhang science fiction. Alam mo kung ano siya? Mukha na siyang forecast. I mean, this is a very possible, I would even say a very probable situation 20, 30 years from now. Alam niyo yung movie na yan, di ba? Parang essentially, ano yung premise? Of course, hindi tayo mag-spoiler dito. Parang the idea is that wasak na mundo, climate change, gulo, populism, tatay style, blah, blah, blah. Okay, boom. Baksak na lahat. But, meron isang metaverse doon. At yung mga tao, pwede sila pumasok sa metaverse. At doon, lahat maganda, lahat gwapo, etc. And then one day yata, parang yung may-ari nito, parang Zuckerberg or Elon Musk nito, parang mamamatay siya. Tapos kung sino manalo dun sa game, dun sa metaverse, pwede niya ma-inherit yung buong company niyan, etc. But anyway, like the idea is actually quite scary because it's very, very probable. The idea is this. Wasak yung mundo, so all everyone has to do is to get the 3D, go inside there, and in that world, you can make a lot of money, you can be the most gorgeous person, you can have your best bike, best car, etc. And then, you just work siguro a few hours a day just to have enough money to buy credits dun sa metaverse mo. Or kunyari, magtrabaho ka lang para lang may pang-star ka na ibigay sa akin para lang tuloy-tuloy itong usapan natin. Sabihin natin, after 5 years, addict na kayo dito sa meta natin. Tapos, yun lang, talaga yun lang gusto niyo, di ba? Parang, wag na tayo, ayoko na mag-date, ayoko nang meet yung friends ko, mag-meta na lang tayo dito. Tapos imagine mo, after 5 to 10 years, meron ng AI ko. So my AI, my artificial intelligence version, can replicate everything I'm doing and do it even twice more efficient. Twice funnier, wow, that's crazy. Twice more zaddy, twice more fuego, whatever. And then that AI can operate 24 hours a day. And that AI will always be live. As long as that AI knows what you're looking for, so what's gonna happen? This is how it's gonna work, okay. Now guys, I know this sounds science fiction, but believe me, as someone who does political science, right, this is something really serious. I take this very, very seriously because this has huge implication for our society. Okay, so I'll give you guys some idea about it. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard about Noval Harari, yung book niya na Sapiens, and then he had another book called Homo Deus. All right, the idea is that, okay, so I'll give you some crazy ideas, guys, which actually could be a reality very soon. One idea is this. One idea is singularity. All right. Singularity means at some point in time, and I think Elon Musk and a lot of people have been also giving their ideas on this. is that at some point, lahat tayo pwede natin i-connect. So lahat tayo mag 3D or something like that. We'll put a cap on our head. All our brains will be connected into a meta-consciousness. All of us could be connected to that meta-consciousness. Now, some of you who may have done meditation. I do meditation. I do yoga and meditation. There are times when you do high-level meditation, it's like your mind connects with the cosmos, with the universe. Try it. And then you'll see kind of like parang you concentrate, and then parang there's like a bright spot there exactly at the center. So you have centered your mind. You feel you're almost connected to the universe. Now, imagine a situation you put something like that. All our minds are connected into a meta-consciousness, right? A lot of physicists and computer scientists and all are saying that singularity is increasingly probable. That at some point we're going to be, like ant kingdoms, all the ants operate like within a bigger network. So that network thinking, that could be technologically actually possible by the middle of the century, right? That's one thing to look at. There's another one which can happen actually even earlier. So if you wanna see where I'm coming from, there's this book called AI Superpowers. I'll show it to you guys. It's by Kai-Fu Lee, and if you're familiar with Kai-Fu Lee, he's the guy behind Siri. Nakikita naman yung Siri sa phone na pwede mong kausapin. Kai-Fu Lee was one of the guys behind it. So you had the book called AI Superpowers. And the idea is that China and US will dominate the future of the world in this AI industry. And AI will be so sophisticated, and I'll give you some idea this is the book. AI Superpowers. Really good by Kai-Fu Lee. Now, if tinatamat kayo, basahin na to, no problem. Watch Kai-Fu Lee's lecture, Cambridge Union address. He's going to give you a lot of idea where we're heading. In fact, there are other books. The book Second Machine, The Age of Second Machine. And then there's another book also I have here. Okay. Guys, believe me, this is not science fiction. This is serious stuff we're talking about. So, as you may know, I usually, every year or so, I try to go to Stanford, give a talk in Stanford and all. Of course, I do go there to talk about geopolitics and all. But in Stanford, guys, that's where a lot of crazy stuff is happening, right? Ang joke ko whenever I'm in Stanford, I say, this is where everyone is busy to make everyone else useless, right? And one way to do that is artificial intelligence. Now, let me give you this idea. So, Harari has also written on this. Very good stuff. Now, one of the things is this. So, the AI today operates actually very superficially. So, for instance, you go to China. If you're in China, good luck getting there now. You can go to a machine and the AI can just scan your face and it knows all of your attributes. Your passport number, where are you from, blah, 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 etc. Alright? Now, apparently, this is like pasay na. The next phase of artificial intelligence, which it is what we call deep skin artificial intelligence or deep skin surveillance. How does it operate? So we're going phases, no? So the next phase, for instance, is something like this. Let's say, meron kang Amazon, right? Meron kang Amazon, di ba? Mag-order ka ng Amazon. Kung na-order ka yung book ni Hey Darian, parinig. Ayan na naman tayo. You know what it does? So the camera here on the phone can look at my eyelid movements, calculate based on my eyelid movements, and muscle contraction on my face, what mood am I in. So based on that, it can calculate, the AI can calculate based on patterns of eyelid movements and facial muscle movements, what mood am I in, and based on that, make to you algorithmically based recommendations. For instance, I want to buy a book. So based on analysis, isascan niya yung eyelid movement, facial muscle movement. Based on that, it can assess in what am I in mood for to buy in terms of books, music, even fashion. But at some point, it can go even deeper. So that's what you call deep skin surveillance or AI. It can also detect my blood pressure. It can detect my other vitals that are not there in my eyelid movement. And based on that, the AI can make recommendations of what you like. Or even manipulate you into what you want. Because it knows, for instance, it can detect based on your blood pressure, at one point, maybe they can even scan your brain, how your brain is operating. If you're vulnerable, right, and you have an obsessive compulsive personality, they can throw at you certain products that they're almost 100% sure you're gonna buy because you're susceptible to impulsive shopping maybe at that point, or buying a certain types of products and all. Do you get what I'm saying? This Guys, this is not science fiction. If you look at where science is going, and the growth in science is not like this, it's exponential, right? It's exponential. It doesn't go like this, it goes like that. For instance, compare what cell phones were 5 to 10 years ago. Look at the cameras we have. Look at the speed of our phones. It doesn't increase like double. It increases exponentially. 2 times 4, 4 times 4. You know what I'm saying? 16 times 6. It goes like that exponentially. So it's very possible in 10 to 15 years, guys, we will be in a situation whereby your Amazons and your phones and all can all detect not only your immediate facial movements, eyelid movements, but also deep skin vitals. Now, you can imagine there are implications for that in terms of insurance policy, in terms of healthcare policy, in terms of, for instance, drivers giving you driver license. They can check, for instance, how chemically balanced you are. Or it could be a situation whereby before you drive, even if you have license, you have to do a scan. The scan will determine if you're in the right mind to do the driving and then will allow you. So obviously you can use that as an excuse to scan everyone and say we are doing this for safety. But you can imagine that information can be used for all sorts of crazy stuff. So I was saying this will be a problem, for instance, if you live in a dictatorship. This is where the politics comes in, right? Let's say you live in North Korea, right? And then the dear leader is passing by, yung pinakatatay ng mga tatay, right? Siyempre, alam mo naman sa North Korea, di ba? Lahat dapat palakpakan. Napakagaling. I've been in North Korea. I know what I'm talking about. You know how it is in North Korea? Pag nasa North Korea ka, and then may picture ng Kim Jong-un, Kim Il-sung dun sa likod, you cannot be in front of it because you will cut their image. So you have to move aside, or you have to look at them while the picture is complete. Believe me, it's like that in North Korea. I've been in North Korea. It's like that. You cannot take a picture that parang disrespectful na kinakat mo yung dear leader. Next level sila. Alright, no. But anyway, in North Korea, if you want to survive, you have to always show 100%, like the best talaga si Kim Jong-un, siya ang pinaka-basketball player and all. Now, this is where it gets scary. So in China now, I don't know, they have what? Forget about 600 megapixel. At some point, they're going to have 6,000 megapixel. They're going to have so accurate cameras that they can detect, based on AI and the advanced megapixels, they can detect your facial movements. Now, but facial movements, if you're really good, you can even fake that. You can go poker face, right? Which is what people in poker do. But, what if now they have a camera that can detect your blood pressure, your heartbeat movement, your other vitals, and based on that vitals, the camera can make a calculation, say, sino ang mga traidor dyan? Sino mga dilawan? Sino mga... You get what I'm saying? That's why this is scary. Because once you have the technology to detect people's emotions based on their deep skin vitals, oh my goodness, this is going to be very, very difficult. So in 1984, yung kay George Orwell, Animal Farm to, nasa 1984. Okay, that's not even advanced enough, right? It's gonna be even scarier than George Orwell's novel, man. It's not only a camera that watches you 24/7. It's a camera that can even detect your vitals. You get what I'm saying? This is not science fiction, guys. We're heading in that direction. And then there's another crazy idea, which I think is even more. Where's my book there? So if you're wondering what I do, hindi lang sila tatay at mga Robin Padilla ang pinag-aralan ko sa buhay. May mga pinag-aralan tayo ng mga... Yeah, okay, so I have another book there, which is something like... Oh my goodness, where is it? Where did I put that? Okay, the idea is this, guys. That instead of us engineering AI and all, the AIs and all are actually also engineering us. And not in a conscious way. So for instance, their example is very good. You use Waze, right? You use Waze. Now, have you noticed sometimes the Waze actually doesn't give you the best route, right? Sometimes decoy ka lang. So maaga, wala masyadong traffic. The Waze says to get to destination X, you have to pass this street and that. Apparently, because they don't have enough data collected, you become the decoy to collect data for them. So in a way, us thinking the apps are good for us. We follow the apps. But actually, the apps are using us to collect data to make better calculations. You get what I'm saying? Like, so their idea was, without even creating a super conscious... Kasi yun ang problema. What is science fiction? The science fiction is, oh, one day these robots will be so intelligent and then they'll take over the world and all. And the point is, they don't even need to get there, right? Short of that, a lot of crazy things already can happen to us. And for me, this has huge implications for democracy and all. Alam ko, sa ngayon guys, ang level of discussion of fake news and all is algorithms of fake, alam ko yung level of discussion about democracy and algorithm is disinformation, right? And I think Maria Ressa, among a lot of people, have done a great job to show, for instance, the algorithm on Facebook and all promote fake news more, or because because of the virality calculation, etc. But for me, that's so 2016, man. We're heading in a very different, even scarier direction. That's what I'm telling you guys. We have to watch about it. And speaking of Metaverse again, kaya kanina, I was like watching the presentation in Metaverse. I was looking like that and was thinking about it. It's like, oh man, like, I see all of these memes now, yung mga NFT ba yan? Yung mga nag-Bitcoin, yung mga, may tao dyan na naka-socks lang, naka-boxers lang, tapos nakahiga. Tapos naka 3D siya, tapos puro mga sira-sira yung room niya. Pero doon sa 3D niya, marami siyang NFT, tapos mayaman na siya. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be the future, guys. There are people who are billionaires in the real estate, in Metaverse. In this world, they don't even care about it because the real world is there. Because what is reality? For some people, reality is what affects them emotionally the most, what ticks them the most. And let's be honest, how many hours of your day you spend communicating with your other people virtually than actually talking to people normally? I doubt there are so many people who talk 1 hour straight without any distraction just to another human being. I mean, it's increasingly impossible. Let's just be honest about it. Now, in the classroom, I can do that. That's one of the things I love in classroom, especially if it's face-to-face. No cell phone allowed. You're stuck with me for the next hour. Well, swerte ka kung... But you get what I'm saying? Like, go outside, go restaurants, watch families. There's all family. Everyone is on phone except the baby. And siguro mga 2 months from now, the baby will have an iPad too. You get what I'm saying? So, why is this important? Because I always explain to you guys. Talagang nagsimula tayo with Robin Padilla, nandito na tayo. Like, no, I mean, no offense, guys. I'm just telling you, okay? There are things coming for our world, okay? We have to be prepared for that. So ngayon, we can make fun of this metaverse and all because, like you can say, wala pa nga tayong marami sa atin, walang internet na matino, marami sa atin, wala man lang mga basics, etc. But you see, that didn't stop from Grab taking over the transportation. When was the last time you guys got a taxi without using Grab? You tell me. I'm talking especially, of course, the middle class people. You know, me when? I think in Baguio. Kasi hindi na namin kailangan ng Grab. May taxi na doon sa taas. But, and then, lahat tayo, nag-Grab, Food Panda, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like, even if you're not high-tech country, if that's the next phase, you have to adopt it. Right? The same thing with like cell phone. Now you go to the poorest part of the world, they have to adopt. So my point is, just because we are backward in many ways doesn't mean we're going to be immune to these developments, including the development of Metaverse. And you see, the Metaverse could be something like that. In 10 years from now, the Metaverse is so advanced, so cool. So you're going to go on Instagram and you're going to see Kanye West doing his latest, I don't know, Yeezy, whatever, on there. You see Kardashians doing this. All of these people. Justin Bieber, medyo zadi na siya noon 10 years from now. And then that's going to be the cool thing. That's going to be where the metas are done. Our metas will be in 3D. We'll be inside Metaverse talking to each other. Right? I'm going to sit there exactly in front of you, naka-glass na tayo. And we're going to have the most fascinating discussions, right? Fascinating discussions. I'm going to do energy drink. We do all, we go inside. Whoa, it's crazy. Woo! And that Metaverse can give you all sorts of emotions and excitement and energy and all. And then, guys, saan tayo mag-meet today? Sabihin na, doon tayo sa Paris, doon sa malapit, doon sa, wag dyan sa Eiffel Tower, doon tayo sa Arc de Triomphe, parang kunyari. Then we can set it up. We can press like that. Okay, guys, doon tayo mag-meet ha. 3 p.m. doon tayo sa Paris. Sa ganun. We can do that. That's all possible in Metaverse, guys. You play Minecraft, you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about. Minecraft is just like analog version pa. It's the first generation. We're gonna get there. There are many kids who are spending thousands of pesos, if not dollars, on Minecraft. Right? I see a lot of these people spending stuff to buy, I don't know, guns and gadgets and stone, whatever, on these games, right? That's their life. Oh my goodness, lobat na pala ako sa sobrang daldal ko. Wait lang ha, kunin ko nga yung charger ko, walang ya. Ang daldal ko pala. 1 second Uy, meron pala akong power bank din na sponsor. 1 second, wag niyo ako iwanan mga ka-metaverse ha. Mga ka-metaverse. Ayan. Wala. Magkakaproblema tayo ngayon, guys, kasi narinig niyo pa rin ako. Sorry, I'll have to take the earphones. test this one. 1 second lang, balik lang ako. Narinig niyo ako? Do you hear me, guys? Sorry, of course the audio will not be as well. Okay, I have to use power bank. Okay. Don't worry, patapos na tayo. No, I want to talk about actually more things eh. Ugh, hindi pala gumagana ito. Yan, okay, narinig ako. I know this is crazy, but you know what? 10 years from now, this is how we're gonna do it. TV, radio, what's that, guys? We're all gonna be in Metaverse talking to each other there. So might as well get used to it as early as now. Yep. Baka in the future, in classroom natin, ganun na. I mean, literally, in university classrooms. We're gonna be all in Metaverse. Okay. Now, at least those among us who have access to better internet access, etc. But, you know, technology is advancing so fast. Kunyari, yung Starlink ni Elon Musk. So, alam mo yan ang difference niya, di ba? So, most of us, our internet is what? Based on fiber optics, right? Underground, undersea, right? Starlink is straight from satellite. The internet can be projected downwards. So, even if dun ka sa pinaka malayong laylayan, etc., pwede kayo project sa'yo. And if you subsidize, it could be for free. So, anywhere you can have high-level access thanks to Starlink. This is crazy, man. This is happening. I mean, the world is really changing. So the other day, this really got my attention. I'll go back again to the Metaverse. Don't worry about it because hindi ko pa natay ba. I'm just giving you a flavor of what I've been thinking about deeply. Like, I'll be honest, nung una medyo natakot ako. And at some point, parang, what's the point of getting scared? You just have to understand it and figure out what we're gonna do next, right? As simple as that. Just get prepared. Because it's gonna come, whatever you do. It's gonna come, guys. It's gonna come. Okay. Isang araw, nalaman ko na si Elon Musk plan niya mamatay sa Mars. His only issue is ayaw niya mamatay sa Mars because nag-malfunction yung spaceship or walang oxygen or something. But he wants to have his final days kung matanda na siya there. And by 2050, may plano na siya to bring 1 million people to Mars. Kaya sabi ko, baka yan ang dapat target natin sa buhay. Kasama tayo dun sa 1 million ni Elon Musk. But you see, we can make fun of it and say, what ridiculous, man. We have to save Earth, there's climate change, all of poverty and all. But that's the thing, if you're richest man, you're among your smartest people. I don't think Elon Musk is the smartest. He's not Einstein smart, but he's very street smart. And he's also intelligent, right? Very intelligent guy. If they're gonna put their money into going to Mars and intergalactic and all that blah, 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 then Metaverse is gonna happen. If people are already thinking about Mars, Metaverse on Earth is gonna happen. And why is this relevant, guys? Why is this relevant? Why is this relevant, guys? Because if there's one thing we learned about democracy is that democracy only survives and thrives when there's social struggle. So I always talk about Latin America to you guys. And I say, bakit Latin America? May disinformation, sabog, daming problema, corruption, dynasties, etc. But one thing that made Latin America a much more hopeful political place than us is because of social struggles. So kahit daming troll, maraming pa rin tao nagrarally. I remember very well, last year, yung isang friend ko, she was based in University of Sao Paulo. And there was this big crazy pro-Bolsonaro thing, parang pinapa-impeach si Bolsonaro. And Bolsonaro brought his people, but the other side, they brought millions of people to the street, no? Against Bolsonaro. And you know that didn't come out of nowhere. That was a process, that was a result of years and decades of labor union activism, civil society activism, yung mga farmers, mga manginista, magsasaka, you know what I'm saying? So they had a very mobilized population. So I don't know, maybe even if Metaverse comes, enough of people have had exposure to social struggles. There's a struggle, social struggle culture na baka tuloy-tuloy pa rin sila kahit may Metaverse. Ang concern ko dyan is dun sa mga bansa na wala masyadong social struggle. I mean, ito guys I'll be honest we always talk about EDSA 1 and EDSA 2. You know what? In other countries, they have EDSA 1 and EDSA 2 every year multiple times in terms of the number of people who show up.
Just the other year, we had 1 million people showing up in Spain or in Colombia, other countries, to fight against an issue. We got 1 million people coming out in Chile to fight against the rise in prices of bus, etc. Like, they have ETSA every year, every day almost, right? Because social struggle is really the only way for us to make sure that our democracy is dynamic, that our democracy delivers for ordinary people. So you can guess what's my concern. My concern is, ngayon pa lang, hirap na hirap tayo to get people out and get people to vote or whatever, although not as bad this time. Because ang dami distraction. May TikTok, may Netflix, may whatever. Now, imagine if 3D na yan. Oh my goodness. Nagpi-PS7 ka, napaganda yung grabe yung graphics, sobrang realistic, kaharap mo si Messi, ganyan. Like, who cares, right? Ang thinking mo, who cares about politics? Wala na, tapos na eh. So a very organized minority, if they can get people out on the street, they can dominate us all because most of us won't care. Why should I go? Mainit, stress. Dito na ako sa Metaverse. All I need is I need 500 pesos to buy credit for 6 hours of Metaverse. In that 6 hours, I can be in Paris, in Canberra, I can be in, I don't know, in Hawaii, etc. You get what I'm saying? It has huge, serious implications for democratic struggle. Because it will be very difficult. O ano bang next sa Gen Z? Lahat tayo okay, nung millennials kami, inattack kami. Mga millennials, spoiled brat, easy blah blah. Ngayon Gen Z inattack. Gen Z purong TikTok, Snapchat, whatever. Ano nang next generation? Ang presidente na nila, Justin Bieber na siguro, di ba? You get what I'm saying? How can you convince people to come out to vote, to sacrifice, to mobilize, to risk their lives, to revolt against oppression, tyranny? May metaverse eh. May Metaverse. All you need is 500 pesos. And then may load ka na, just like SMS and text. You go over it, do your Metaverse, forget about all the it's meta escapism. That's what it is to me. Now, all of us deserve some break, right? Including yours truly, who was yet to get a vacation from that crazy election. Now, balik na tayo. Let me use na this. I think may konting charge na tayo.
All of us guys have a right to some break, to some relaxation, some leisure. It's almost a human right to me, of course. Given yan. But you see, the thing with Metaverse is it's gonna be even worse than dito sa mga cellphones natin all. You see, this is what they call attention economy. What is it all about? All of the things they have on these applications. That's why for instance, I shut off all the notifications of my applications. For instance, even the color of notification, which is red, it is curated so that it activates in your brain a sense that you have to respond right away, right? Fear of missing out, FOMO, right? Everything that is there on your Instagram, on your Facebook, whatever, they're all. Ironically, I'm doing this on Facebook, right? But it is what it is. Well, we can, right? Everything here is designed to keep you guys, your eyeballs here. Because your eyeballs are here, the more information can be gathered about you, about what you're going to buy, what you're going to sell, etc. It's interesting, right? I'm doing this while on Facebook and Meta. But I'm telling you the reality, guys. We are in an attention economy. Now, you think the Metaverse will not be that 10 times more? Everything there in the Metaverse will be there. Bibigyan ka ng raffle na free Metaverse credit ng 6 hours. Bigyan ka ng mga magkakaroon ng raffle na 6 years free Metaverse in Paris, access 24/7, mga ganon. You get what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that, guys. It's gonna be like that. And in that situation, I don't know, man. How are you gonna get people interested, excited, or even push them to struggle for democracy, for human rights, for you know what I'm saying? So when I hear about Metaverse and hear about this next generation technology and all, or hear about Elon Musk wanting to go to Mars, what I think about is that, wait lang. So who's gonna do the struggle para maayos yung ating bayan? Para maging more equitable ang mundo? Para maayos yung problema natin sa climate change? You know what I'm saying? All of these things. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Kaya ako, since I'm a very focused person. When I do something 100% inside, you can see that already. By the way, I'm doing this talk after a long day, right? So I'm already tired. You're getting sometimes a tired version of me. So kaya ako, I'm very careful. I don't play games that much. The only thing I like about games is problem solving, right? If a game focuses your attention, allows you to improve your problem solving, that's good. But once you pass that threshold and become dependent on the game to feel good and feel then you're in a dangerous territory. And this is just 2D, right? We're gonna have PS7, PS8 by that time. Grabe yung graphics niyan, right? So, I'm telling you guys, I mean, and then, yung vlogger nyo ngayon, di ba? So, your vlogger today has to compete with Netflix. I have to compete against both vloggers and Netflix for your eyeballs, right? Sometimes I succeed, sometimes so-so, right? Now, once Metaverse and all come, all of us have to compete with that because, oh my goodness, like, I mean, think about it. Why would you even go on, I don't know, Tinder, whatever, all of these apps? Bakit pa mag-Tinder swindler? Metaverse swindler ka na lang, di ba? 3D, straight to the point, unlimited ang pwede mo i-meet. 1 second, nasa Paris ka. Next second, nasa Brasilia ka. Next second, nasa Boracay ka, di ba? You get what I'm saying? And then, Dolomite Beach, forget about Dolomite. Uy, bukas na daw ang Dolomite Beach. Forget about Dolomite Beach. Doon na tayo sa Metaverse. So anyway, what I'm telling you guys is this. This is how we should start thinking now. We should really think about how this technological disruption will affect our ability to have a much more educated, well-informed, responsible citizenship, a much more open, progressive democracy. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. And ngayon pa lang, you have to really look at all
of those alternatives. At the same time, guys, i-ready nyo na yan, ha? Ayun, lobat na naman ako. Ready na yung mga ano natin, ha? Magme-metaverse tayo in 3D, ha? Mag-meet tayo in Metaverse. May announcement. Mag-meet tayo dito sa 42nd Street sa Manhattan. Ayan. Doon tayo meet tayo dyan, malapit sa New York University. Dalhin ko yung Balenciaga ko, guys. Meet tayo dyan sa New York. I'm so New York, alright? I'm so New York. Yun ang gagawin natin, Metaverse. Do you get what I'm saying? Alright, okay. Narinig niyo ba ako? Sorry, I had to put again my, kasi low-bat na ako. Don't worry, patikim lang yan. Actually, malalim tong issue na to, yung singularity. I didn't even discuss terraforming, which is yung idea na we can actually change the atmosphere of other planets to make them more like Earth. And apparently it can be done with $20 trillion or $30 trillion. It's not impossible. Okay, anyway, we're not gonna go there yet, but I'm just giving you guys a flavor of gaano kalawak dapat ng pag-iisip mo nowadays to understand where the world is going. Because if you're gonna just look at Senate natin, if you're just gonna look at Unity, you're gonna look at just, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, right? You're gonna miss the boat. The big clouds are approaching us, my goodness, right? And technological disruption, climate change. Parang ano yun guys, yung sa Game of Thrones, yung mga Nightwalkers pa yan, yung from the north, papasok na sila sa realm. Parang ganun yan. Parating na yung mga yan. So, i-ready na natin yung mga dragons natin, guys. Mga ka-GOT. Alright? Okay, now, balikan ko yung mga questions niyo. I'm just giving you guys a flavor of what I'm thinking about nowadays. Very seriously. Hindi for fun. I don't do it for fun. And I used to parang be amused by it. It's like watching, I don't know, Foundation series or watching, I don't know, Dune. Now I'm taking it seriously. I always doing scenario buildings on this. Okay, ito pala yung kahapon, no? Sir, yung sinabi ni Mabes Chugowan, anong say nyo dyan sa Christine Reyes at I mean, hindi ko pa rin alam. But anyways, guys, by the way, thank you very much. I don't know, are my mites around? I think our OZ mites are asleep. It's almost 11:30 there, unless if you're in Perth or something like that. So, thank you very much sa mga OZ mites natin who made it tonight. Probably they didn't. Thanks naman sa mga friends natin from Quezon City, from BGC, from Pasig. Yan, kapasa naman dyan. Mga friends natin dyan sa Davao. Friends natin dyan sa Visayas, Iloilo, Bicol. Yan. Thank you kay Manda, Paji, yan. Oo, Elon Musk. We'll talk about it more. By the way, I'm not a fan, just to be clear about it. I find the guy interesting, in the sense that he got some crazy ideas. He's daring. I like that. But, don't fool me, man. I'm looking at what's going on here. Thank you kay Mitch. Ito si Mitch, galante yan. Hindi katulad ko na Thank you so much, friends natin dyan from California. Ayan. Yung friends ko dyan sa San Jose, sa ay nako, yung mga nasa Stanford, alam niyo nang pinagsasabi natin. Hindi ito bola, guys. This is serious stuff. And if I have enough material, I'll write hopefully a book on this issue. A legit book, hindi man, like legit book about impact of technological disruption on democratic struggles for democracy. I'm serious, guys. This is no joke, all right? You know, Low T, friends natin from Perth. Pero Perth kasi same time zone tayo, di ba? Parang 10:30 kayo. Anong oras kayo? 10:30, 9:30. O yung mga friends natin sa New South Wales, anong oras na? Naku po. Ay, 8:30 pala sa Perth ngayon, di ba? Mga 8:30. Tapos mga 11:40 pala. 11:40 siguro sa New South Wales. Yan. Cousin natin dyan sa Sydney. Cousin natin dyan sa Espanya. Cousin natin dyan sa San Diego. Friends natin dyan sa Tijuana, Ciudad Juarez, Mexico City, yan. Bogota, Medellin, Cartagena, yan. Cartagena, yan. Yan, kay Jella, thank you very much for that. Okay, may mga tanong tayo dyan. Ayan, first natin. Well, Baguio people, kamusta kapsat? So may mga tanong tayo dito guys. Eto na naman, may mga tanong classic question kay Che Rosal, mga natin supporters na yan. Thank you very much pala kay Ja Brillantes at Margaret Rodriguez and Luti Tagbak. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, same time sa 9:40 sa Perth. Tama. Tanong niya ulit yung sa issue ng presidential or parliamentary. As I said, ganito. So in economics, there's this term they always use called ceteris paribus. When you freeze all other variables, everything held equal, which is better? So some studies show that actually parliamentary is better than presidential. Ceteris paribus, but that's precisely where the problem arises for me. Because you might be freezing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 other variable that actually are more important and that could be more consequential, right? Including the fact that even with parliamentary, if we end up getting the same trapos or even worse types in power, we might have those trapos even longer, right? Remember in parliamentary, you can be a prime minister for 10, 20 years, whatever. Now, let's say trapos in there. Of course, in theory, you have vote of no confidence. But look at Britain. They cannot even get Boris Johnson out after everything. You can game the system. Just look at Malaysia, neighbor Malaysia, how they game the system, the Omno Party and all of that. So, ceteris paribus, I agree, parliamentary could maybe be better, could solve some of our problems, but that's ceteris paribus. Once you bring in other variables, then it becomes complicated. Kaya ako, to be honest, I'm okay with shift to parliamentary, but under the right circumstances, for the right reason, and along with other reforms sabay-sabay. It has to be coordinated, synchronized reform. Hindi lang hindi lang parang one trick. Kasi yung problema iba, one trick pony lang sila. They think like you just change this and then automatically everything will be fine. That's not how it works. It's much more complicated, right? Anyone who has done proper graduate social science should know about this. Forget about, okay, I'm gonna be nice. Oh, friends natin dyan from France, Le Français. Si Timothy Rizal. Galing daw sa Mexico. Nung nakita ko yung Mexico, wow! Amigos! Somos amigos! And then, oh, Mexico, Pampanga. Right? I get it. Di ba si Vico Soto? Sino tatay ni Vico Soto? Sino tatay? Di ba meron siyang commercial? Mexico, sa Pampanga, meron siyang commercial lang. I don't know, it was a food or something, yeah. Yeah, ako sa mga friends natin dyan. Guys, don't worry. There'll be an AI that will replicate me in 5 to 10 years. You can have this 24 hours and depende sa mood nyo, magkakaroon kayo ng live version ng AI ko, alright? And then the other AI can also curate for you which news channels are closest to your bias. So what we're gonna have is actually not people learning from TV or news. People are gonna have confirmation bias echo chamber AI. AIs that will just feed you what you already know. So they're just gonna be there to make you feel good. Alright? That's gonna be one very big possibility down the road. Like, mahilig ka sa Fox News, you're gonna get all the Fox News of the world 24/7. All Bill O'Reilly, whatever, those kinds of types. Mahilig ka sa, I don't know, alam niya na, yung version nila dito sa Pilipinas. You'll have a 24/7 version of that. You'll have 12 debates, presidential debates every day. Right? Doon sa mga ganyan channels na yan. Alright. So, mamaya ko nasagutan ng mas malalim yan. Pero for me, maybe, honestly, I have more concerns with federalism than parliamentary. Parliamentary, parang, let's see. Pero federalism, If trapo ka, warlord ka, dynasty ka sa probinsya, you like federalism. That means you'll have almost total control and autonomy over those regions to do whatever you want, okay? That's gonna be the reality. I'm not talking about theory. I'm talking about reality, alright? Yun na nakakatawa, yung mga politiko pa natin ay purong theory eh. In realidad ang dapat titignan natin, the most likely possibility. Oh, may tanong si Jem Tongson dito sa issue ng technocratic government. Okay, very quickly, I discussed this already. I said, you can have the best technocrats there, pero kung tatay style yung politika mo, kalat ka, may rule of law issue, may patayan, may gyera, may problema, may etc. You can have the best technocrat, but if your politics is messy and unpredictable, the investors will not come in. The real big investors, hindi yung mga yung mga investors na online casino investors. Hindi yung mga online Pogo. Hindi Pogo yung totoong investors, right? Yan ang sinasabi ko. Yan. May tanong si is it already the right time for charter change? Tanong ni Christian Joy Cruz. I think always the right time for constitutional amendments. I am for that. So I'll support Senator Padilla if he pushes for some good amendments. You have my 100% support, sire. But if you want to just bara railroad some sort of constitutional change that is just going to remove restrictions on politicos and weaken institutional checks and balances, CHR, PCGG, etc. No, you don't have me on my side, and I don't think it's ever a good time for that. The other way to also look at it is public opinion. I don't know what's the latest, but the previous public opinions were very clear by Paul Station among others. The majority of Filipinos have very little idea what's this federalism all about, and majority of them all very skeptical. Only 20-30% were for it, and you can guess who are these people, where they come from, etc. Tanong naman ni Yob Neubik, kamusta daw yung 20 pesos na bigas? Ayan, tanongin nyo yung mga kumuha ng talanog. Hindi ko alam. Di ba may NFA rice naman tayo eh? I mean, I don't know. Honestly, agree naman ako kay President Marcos na ang kailangan talaga natin dito ay palakasin ng agricultural sector. And in fairness naman kay incoming NEDA Secretary Balisacan, mukhang yun din ang focus na. And in fairness, even Benjamin Jokno, our incoming finance minister, has also emphasized the role for agriculture. But I want to know what exactly is their game plan. Hindi lang yung salita lang, or anyone can say, I want to do this and that. But do you have the right roadmap? Do you have the resources? Do you have the right team? Let's see. But for me, instead of giving this kind of populist antics promises, have a proper roadmap to actually make sure palakasin natin yung agricultural sector natin and food self-sufficiency para hindi naman 20 pesos pero maybe 35 pesos, maybe 25, I don't know. It's doable but not tomorrow. Now, that's a problem sa elections kung ano ang sinasabi ng politiko natin pero then the reality kicks in, no? And then dito, may tanong dito sa sabi ni Gabiana Malari, be careful what you wish for. Ayan. Yung ba yun sa tanong? Okay naman yung mga tanong in fairness. Mabait naman tao. Ano naman sabi ni Course Ropeta, ano mga kay Dalima? Since some movement are happening, cross fingers, we'll finally see some justice on that. It's quite possible that the Marcos administration is not as much invested in legally harassing certain people, right? So certain moves can happen, and who knows, baka bago bababa yung itong admin na to, yung huling Justice Secretary ng tatay, hindi yung Aguirre, yung itong latest, ay baka medyo mag-isip na maybe you want to get it right at the last moment. I don't think it's gonna happen right away, but maybe before the end of the year, something good could happen on that front. Kasi wala na yung mga questionable lahat ng witnesses to begin with, tapos nagre-recant na sila, alright? So something can happen there. Si Eric Nicolas, tinatanong niya yung situation sa Ecuador at kinukumpara sa Pilipinas. Salamat naman, iba naman yung situation ng Pilipinas sa Ecuador and Venezuela in a sense na we're not oil-dependent economies, we're not run by, demagogic politics that is completely economically unsustainable. Hindi naman ganun. We have a different kind of problem. We have a different kind of Dolomite populism problem, but we're not there. So I don't think Ecuador is a kind of a good comparison to the Philippines. Again, I talk about Latin America, but let's be more specific. I think Peru is something interesting to talk about. I think Brazil is something to talk about. These are countries that on per capita level perhaps are not as dependent on oil as, let's say, Venezuela and those countries. And this is important because in economics there's a term called rentier regimes. You see, regimes that have oil money, they can afford to buy out the loyalty of their people and loyalty of foreign powers because they have that oil money. It's easy money, right? Kumpara sa other sectors. And generally, oil-rich countries are not democratic. There are very few. When I say oil-rich, hindi lang may oil. Like on a per capita basis, mayaman sila per capita. Norway is one of the few countries that comes to my mind, which is like rich in natural resources, natural gas, etc., oil, whatever. But they're democratic. But the thing with Norway is that they were democratic before they discovered all of that oil and all of that. But the problem is that a lot of countries, authoritarian sila, they discover oil, the authoritarian becomes even richer and more powerful. So you can think about what countries I'm talking about. Alright, there are more we can discuss, guys. Thank you very much. Medyo napagod na rin ako. Alam ko, pagod na rin kayo. It was a long day. My goodness, guys, Kameta, 10 p.m. na. Siguro dun sa Metaverse natin, guys, get ready na. Ready na yung mga goggles natin. Google goggles natin. Mag-Metaverse tayo, marami tayong pag-usapan. But I'm just giving you guys a flavor of other themes and ideas I'm exploring and analyzing really deeply. I mean, I'm reading whatever book I can find on this issue. Surveillance capitalism, Homo Deus, and then some of the second age of machine, whatever, AI superpowers, engineering humanity. Like there's so many great books there. I'm sorry, yung iba nandito sa baba. Pakita ko sa inyo. I'm telling you guys, there's so much we have to learn about this world. Kaya instead of getting depressed, I'm giving you an advice. Instead of getting depressed about this kalokohan, that kalokohan, look at the big picture, guys. Look at the very big picture. And you might find things that keep you interested or even hopeful. Right? And that's the way I cope with stress and all of that. I always look at the big picture. Yes, ito pangit. And I look at the big picture, like, okay, there's something going on here. There's something going on. This can actually change. So, then you put them together, then you don't feel lost. You don't feel depressed. You don't feel hopeless. You feel curious, like what's gonna happen next? Saan tayo pupunta? Biglang that keeps you going, right? That helps you a lot. Alright, therapy na tayo dito, guys. Medyo mag-meta on sa goggles. Goggles ang tawag ka dyan. Oculus ba yan yung goggles? Yan. Ganun na tayo in the future. 3D na tayo, in person na tayo. Tapos magtawanan tayo, magkakantsawan, alaskador tayo. Tapos yung mga troll, alam niyo na anong mangyari sa kanila sa Metaverse, okay? Mag-troll ka sa akin sa Metaverse. Malayon King ka sa akin. Alright? Okay, thank you very much. Any other question before we close this? Alam ko 10 p.m. na almost, guys. I know you want to rest. Kailangan ko pa magpalit. Ayan, talagang ganyan talaga. Ganyan talaga. Ayan na. Sariling driver, sariling cook, sariling internet, wifi, blog, Facebook, FB Live, sariling electricity, sariling telephone, sariling 3-in-1. Guys, come on. Support our Metaverse Oculus. Alright? Sana yung mga boy libre. Yung mga parating nandun sa cafe shop. Pero, nakiki-order lang sila sa kaibigan nila. Uy, kami, tapos na yung kape mo. Huwag mo na mabusin agad, ha? 3 hours pa tayo dito. Ayaw, uy, kami na. Sipsipin, kunti lang. Huwag mo mabusin kape. Ayan, mga gano'n. Or bibili lang isang sa Starbucks, tapos kuha ng maliliit, tapos isi-share ng gano'n. Ayan, so kompleto na tayo. Yan, mga boy libre. Tapos yung parating na, guys, yung magbayad na yung bill. Uy guys, wait lang. Guys, nakalimutan ko sa car. Naiwan ko guys sa car. Walang ito, may kotse pa to. Mayaman pa. Uy guys, nakalimutan sa car yung wallet ko. Kunin ko nga sa car. Tapos sobrang slow motion sa car. After 30 minutes siya babalik. Tapos yung car down niya may flat. Kailangan niya ayusin. Kailangan niya yung key. Ayan tayo. Yan yung pinaka-kuripot. Siya lang may kotse. Siya pa yung boy takas pag may bill. Yung iba, uy guys, wait lang guys. May family ano tayo dyan. Kausapin. Uy guys, yung girlfriend ko pala nandiyan, mag-hi muna ako sa girlfriend ko ha. Baka naman isipin niya, diba? Baka close tayo, ano muna. Sige na guys, ganon. Tapos mamaya dalawa na lang matira, sila magbayad ng bill. Now, good luck collecting dun sa mga boy libre. Alright? Yung ginastos na yan. Huwag niyong gawin yan ha, gawain ng mga millennials yan nung ating panahon. Ang gagawin natin, mag-metaverse tayo, dun na tayo magkape, alright? Maglo-load lang tayo ng 60 pesos, kita-kit sa Metaverse. Woo! Ready na ako sa... Alam mo yung sa Wolf of Wall Street, yung excited na siya mag-ano. Woo! May load na ako! Mag-Metaverse na tayo, bro! Kita-kits na dyan. Yan. Ganun ang mangyari dyan, bro. Promise, guys. Get ready. Yan na, naka-Oculus na tayo. Ready na ako, bro. Excited na ako. Mag-ano ka, mag-stretching ka. Yan mo yung flex mo yung muscles mo. Ganun. Guys, ready na ako. Here we go. 3, 2, 1! Tapos yung pala hindi nagbayad ng electricity. Biglang, zooming out lang ako po. Tapos andun na kayong lahat. Uy! Nasaan si ano? Ay, hindi na naman nagbayad siguro ng internet yan. Nakat na naman yung internet yan. Sabay na kayo. 3, 2, 1! Woo! Ikaw po na kayo sa Metaverse. Alright, yan. Okay. Good morning mga sa aking mga manong daw. Wala talaga. Mga manong dyan sa Australia. Good morning, Manang. Alright, ito na sagot natin dyan sa mga Aussie friends natin. Alright. Oh, sabi ng isa, kaya sinasabi guys, ba't pa tayo mag-migrate sa New Zealand or Norway? I-Oculus lang natin yan, nandun na tayo sa Metaverse. New Zealand lang, guys. Doon na tayo sa French Riviera. Ready na nga ako eh. Doon na tayo sa French Riviera. Alright, ready na tayo. 1, 3, 2, 1. Biglang cut na yung electricity. Wala na internet, walang ya. So, andun na kayo lahat, guys. Uy, ang ganda na mo, bro. Wow, Kanye West. Wow, Kardashian. Wow, Gigi Hadid. Wow, wait. Saan si Hindi na naman nagbayad siguro ng internet yan, bro. Wala na naman siya. Paano yan? Mga ganon. Yan ang mangyari, bro. Yung mga boy libre, boy takas. Bahala kayo sa Metaverse. Di ko kayo kasama doon. Pag nakita ko yung sa Metaverse, huwag yung lapitan yan. Hihingi pa ng load yan para magstay sa Metaverse natin. Yan. Okay, guys. Yan ang meta natin. Yan maging next level meta natin. Okay? Lalo na sa mga boy libre friends natin. Okay? Alright. God bless. Thank you very much. Ayan na. Medyo maligo na tayo. Magpalit na tayo. That was a long day. Trabaho pa tayo. Alright. Magbasa pa ako ng mga Elon Musk biography. Pag-usapan natin si Elon Musk. Marami pa akong pag-usapan, guys. Lalo na yung Martian space program. Ay, nako. Maraming planning si Elon Musk. Talagang napapakamot ako na. Ito na naman tayo sa Alright? Yeah. Yung terraforming, wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But it's doable. It's doable. Alright? Tapos may mga Michiko Kaku pa ako. Ooh. String theory. Yan. Pag-usapan natin lahat yan. Alright. Muchas gracias. Mi amigos. Mi kametas. Hasta pronto. In Metaverse. Alright? O baka pwede guys sa Metaverse, i-synchronize natin, lalagyan natin language, Espanyol. Yeah, tapos sa Metaverse, Spanish tayo magsalita. Tapos ang kagandahan sa Espanyol, mas mabilis ka. You can even speak faster. I can speak even faster pag gawin natin Spanish yan. Yan. Ganda niyan. Yeah, Mari Vicky Barcelona. Mari Vicky Barcelona. Yan. Siya, bilis. 3 seconds. Yung Mari Vicky Barcelona. Mari Vicky Barcelona. See? Ang dami mo nasabi, wala pang 1 second. Mari Vicky Barcelona. Claro na. Ayan, okay. Okay, gets you na? Yan. Alright. Thank you very much. Salamat, may sasabihin sa kinokontrol ko na sarili ko. It's been a long day. I might make more mistakes, alright? So, I'm gonna cut it while I'm ahead, okay? Kasi I might say na naman something eh. Alright, maraming salamat. Good night to our mates, to our friends. Good morning sa mga friends. Ayan si Z Gretzky. Galing yan sa Silicon Valley. Yun no! Oh, alam mo yan Z, di ba? Hindi bola yung sinasabi ko. Totoo yan. This is gonna be a near future situation. Yung mga tatay na, hindi yung Zaddy, yung mga tatay na, ihanda nyo na yung mga anak nyo, ha? They have to get ready for this world. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you. Alright? Ay, hindi pala connected eh. Ayan, bago ako anong porke? Ke problemo. Huh? Alright, manood na ako ng Better Call Saul. Yung si Nacho at saka nasa Chihuahua sila sa Mexico. I-follow ko yung story sa Mexico. Alright? Alright, muchas gracias. Señoras, señores, mi amigos. I'll see you soon in Metaverse, okay? Hopefully. Alright? Thank you very much.